Hi and welcome back to my solo campaign of Arcadia Quest. It seems there is still some appetite, which is why I keep going. Let me know if you are getting bored and I will stop playing, but as long as I'm getting, let's say, comments to tell me to move on, I will move on. Honestly, I think after this one there are only 3 more scenarios left. Yeah, this is the third one from the outer ring. Then we are playing 2 from the inner ring, and then we are going for the final encounter that is. As you might remember, the last scenario didn't go too well. Let's put it like this. And originally I was going to go for a leather. I think there is at least one more easy scenario in the outer ring, but I basically got both comments basically going for another difficult, and someone told me, yeah, let's go for an easy one. So in the end I decided to go for a medium level difficulty, and that's a scenario today. That's the Moon Gate. The Moon Gate's construction precedes Arcadia by many centuries. It was built on the dividing line between night and day, back when the heavens were static. As to why it was built, well, no one really knows. Even the elves have forgotten. But when good King David the Elder was looking for a site to found Arcadia, it seemed a good place to start. Hey, free gate. What's not to like? As for any rumors of mystical powers or enchantments, well, no one ever has figured that one out. Of more immediate concern is that the gate represents the fastest, easiest access the monsters have for their reinforcements. So our 2 objectives in this scenario are to close the Moon Gate, so we have to move to one of those objective spaces, monster free that is, of course. And the second one is we have to kill one of the orc captains. If we do, we get this awesome captain's plate from the Moon Gate. Yeah, it comes with 4 attack dice, it gives us 1 defense dice, and even comes with a reroll. I mean, this is really the ultimate weapon. And as for the map, we, as usual, have to start here at the player 1 starting locations down here at the map. Again, we haven't changed our crew. We weren't allowed to do that. Some of our crew have to start the scenario with a, what are those? I keep forgetting those death curses. Exactly. And the 2 objective points are here. Again, in solo, we only have to meet either one of those. And the orc captains are up there. And right now, this doesn't seem to look much, actually, but this is about to change. This is one of the scenarios we did play in our 3-player campaign, and this area here really got very massive relatively soon. And yeah, I think let's simply get started. I mean, you should know the rules by now. We get our first turn of the game, and again we are going to start, we could start with Grom actually. Could open that door and then want to hit this fella here. The thing is, we have one of those pesky orcs up there, and this is an open door, so maybe that should be our first goal. So 1 and 2, we could do that instead. Yeah, let's start with Grom, why not? So 1 movement point, 2 movement points, 3 movement points. So we have to look beneath this. That's 2 treasure. I think we were also pretty broke at the end of the last scenario. I think we came out with 3 gold or so and could only buy, I think, 1 spell, the life drain, exactly the second stage life drain. And then we are going for an attack, right? Again, I want to start with the Orc Beater, which was, I believe, one of the major mistakes from my previous scenario, that is, because either I should have really waited for another round, or basically another rest phase to get this Orc Beater back, or I should have slowed down. I really needed this Orc Beater against the, I think it was the Hammer Beastman who was basically guarding that troll. But in this case, I'm relatively certain I'm not going for the Hammer Beastman too soon, at least, I hope. So we might really want to go for a rest action first before we really jump into the action. So in this case, we are rolling 4 base dice because we are hitting an orc. It's 5. And those Orc Marauders still have a hit point value of 3. They need an overkill of 4. So these cards are basically for levels 2 and 3. As of the next encounter, as of the next scenario, we are going for the level 4 cards, and then things really start to get messy. So yeah, let's simply hope for a ton of successes here. 5 dice, right? Yes, exactly. Okay, that's not an awful start actually. So we have 3 hits right here. These 2 dice are exploding, so we get to roll them again, and these are 4 4. 4 is enough. Yes, of course. For a second I was worried, but no, that's all we needed. Amazing. So this first fella is dead, and he's not going to hit us back. And we also get a coin for that. Nice. I think up next we are going with Maya. I think she can move. Let's move her 2 spaces out, so 1 and 2. And I guess we are going for this goblin. I think the next mistake I did was to, for my last scenario, not taking out the, let's say, smaller minions there too, because they always kept me busy. And that's, I think, not a great thing in the end. So yeah, let's try to go after this goblin, and as she can use her spells basically twice until she has the rest, we are going for the life drain 2, which could heal us, but right now I'm really looking at the 3 attack dice instead. And just as a little reminder, the goblin archers need a 3 for an overkill and 2 simply to defeat them. So again, let's roll some dice. And yes, someone did mention that really looking at those miniatures painted is a completely different experience. And I already mentioned, I think, during at least my very first episode or my first scenario of Arcadia Quest. This game was gifted to me by Jolene. Again, very much appreciate the gift. She gifted me a ton of games, by the way. This is just this is the first one I'm featuring here on my channel. And she also painted those miniatures in a very, very nice way. So yeah, thanks again. And we are basically rolling 3 dice against this goblin here, right? And wow, that's a major whiff. Are you kidding me? Okay, my dice luck is back, it seems. So in this case, the orc will retaliate, basically. Or I think it's a payback. It's a payback reaction. So what it is rolling, I think 2 dice, and she has 1, 2, 3 defense dice in total, which is not nothing. Okay, then let's take the 2 here. Let's roll the 3 there. And yeah, I take that. He whiffed pretty much as well. Unfortunately, we don't have really such thing as a retaliate action. There is a character, or is an item, I think a dwarven character also. If he rolls this on a defense dice, they're basically giving 1 hit back, which definitely is great. But in this case, we didn't take any wounds. That's at least something. But of course, her basically whole attack action was kind of wasted. And then last but not least, it's Scarlet. And again, I'm not 100% sure what to do with her. In theory, I could move her 1, 2, 3 spaces here to this exploration token, but basically it would put her in a very harm's way for this orc, for this goblin here. And by the way, the Hammer Beastmen who are currently guarding those objective tokens, so they are not getting activated also. The scenario rules for the solo rules in this case told me to really remove their activation cards from the deck. I think we may want to shuffle them back once they are basically returned or so, but honestly, I don't think that this will actually matter too much. Either I'm dead by then or I have hopefully won the scenario. So I think in this case we may want to... I don't want to move her out too far ahead. I mean, I could move her 1, 2, 3. No, this also doesn't help. Let's simply move her here next to Maya, and let's not mind, she could also attack this fella. She's also rolling 3 defensive dice, but she's also suffering from the severe nosebleed, which means she only has 2 hit points in total. Her base value is a 3, and with this death curse, she lost 1. She will get rid of this by the end of the scenario. She could get it back. That can happen, but in theory, there is a good chance we either have to deal with another death curse or maybe no death curse at all, which would be ideal. So no, I think in this case let's have her use her crescent bow. So again, we are rolling 3 dice in total, no defense dice for those minions, and you must be kidding me, not even killing this one. He's really a very, very tenacious guy here. So which means he's hitting us back with 2 and she is defending with 3. Okay then, let's roll those suckers. And are you kidding me? He's hitting us for 2 and we are defending with 1. She's still alive, that's something. But 1 more hit will also kill her right away. Now she is the prime target. So if that goblin will attack, which is not unlikely, yeah, we are in serious trouble. Wow, lovely. Really, really lovely. And if that wouldn't be enough, we still are moving into the villain turn, or the monster turn actually. I really should have listened to my gut feeling and not have her attack. Yeah, I think that was stupid. Okay, let's roll those activation dice. I think we have all the spawn points out, and this is the sword and the bow, which is this point up here. So from there we will start to activate our folks. So we have the Orc Marauder. I think the next one is 1, 2, 3 points here. Yeah, and I think the closest is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think in this case we do have to activate 1, 2, 3. I think he needs only 4. Yeah, I think he's moving that way here. And he's of course also activating something I did forget in my previous scenario as well, but in the end it didn't really matter. So they're throwing 3 attack dice, right? And I think Grom is defending with 2 still. Yeah, 2 dice. Okay, that's okay. It's something we can live with. So let's hope for the best here. Yeah. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So 3 already. Okay, 3 hits for poor Grom. So this is really not looking great. So we basically already have 2 fellas at the brink of death, basically. And again, if we are losing or basically dying for the 3rd time in a given scenario, we have automatically lost it. But there is still 1 more activation, of course. We are still starting from this spawn point, and that's a Goblin Archer. In this case, it's clearly this one. They're using those, and I think it helps. Ah, this is so bad. 1, 2, and I think this is as far as he has to move. And maybe I really should have showed this to you, that this was the teleportation point he was using, and from there he has a clear line of sight to our poor Scarlet. So this scenario could be over relatively soon. She's at least rolling 3 defense dice. That is something, but still, 1 wound will basically kill her. But okie dokie, nothing we can do about that. So again, that's 2 dice for the goblin and 3 dice for her. Yes, exactly. So let's hope for the best here. I hate this game. I really do hate this game. Look at this. This is so bad. I think we rolled 8 or 9 defense dice so far. No, I think more. That's the 2nd time she rolled, and she didn't roll 1. Grom didn't, I think, not roll 1. So these were on 2. That's 8. And I think for Maya, she also, I think she was the one who defended actually. But yeah, that's so bad. That's so bad. So yeah, poor Scarlet is dead. We are moving her back to her character card, and she also gets one of those defeat tokens here. Again, for now, that's not the end of the world, but again, a 3rd one is pretty much game over. We could heal, so there are healing potions, which I believe, no, they only quote-unquote get rid of those cards here. They're not removing those, but still, it still would count anyway. So 2 more and we have lost the game. But those were basically both of our activations, and they were both awful. And then yeah, back to our heroes. And quite honestly, I'm somewhat tempted to maybe rest. The only thing which could make me consider otherwise is the fact that Maya can use a Nova Bolt to really do an awful lot of damage to those guys here. With, again, the Nova Bolt can, in theory, hit other or adjacent enemies that are close to the target. May target an additional enemy close to the target. Okay, an additional enemy. So not all of those, but at least 1 other one. And then we could, in theory, get rid of 2 goblins if we are rolling exceptionally well. The problem is it's 2 measly dice. But I still think it's worth it. That's really such a perfect combination that those fellas are together, and he has only 1 life point left. So even if you're only hitting it for 1, I think we should be still good. You know, I talked myself into that. So we are activating the Nova Bolt, which is unfortunately again only rolling 2 attack dice in this case. And I cannot tell you how much I hate dice-driven games. It's so bad. It's so bad. Yeah, not even this one single hit. So, but this means, easy as that, this fella is hitting me back. So at least I'm rolling some defensive dice. So that's not in vain. And yeah, this is not bad. So we have rolled basically 3 hits on their own. Let me do it like this. They also get 1 hit. And it only does matter to roll this one if this one basically is another hit. And it's not. So basically we don't need to roll those die. So that's at least something. We really needed this result before with Grom. That would have been ideal, or better with Scarlet actually. But okay, that was her go. And as Grom is wounded, I think I want to have him attack as well. And in this case, it also doesn't really matter too much if we're going for the Skullcracker or the Rusty Blade. They both give him 4 dice in this case, but again, only because he's wounded. But yeah, he could really die now. But again, we are not getting rid of the wounds anyway, so we could rest, but this will not remove the wounds. So in this case, he would be sitting ducks anyway. So yeah, let's go for it. When we go down, we are going down in a blaze of glory, like John Bon Jovi sang at some point in time. So yeah, that's 4 dice. Okay, that's 3 hits on their own. We have 2 more. Do I have? Yeah, I have more dice up here. So it's dead. That's the good thing. And it's ultra dead. That was really important. Awesome stuff. So he's not going to hit us back. It's out of the way. And we getting this coin here. And in this case, I'm really tempted, because you can also move after you have attacked. I think let's try that. I mean, if that's trap, then yeah, it's bad. But I think in this case, okay, it's 2 more gold. I was kind of hoping for this healing potion. That's the only reason why I have taken that risk. But it's still okay in my book. So I think with the next activation, we are going to rest, simply to get Scarlet back and also to give some of the attacks here back. Yeah, no, it's the monsters. Again, I'm rolling the 2 activation dice. These are the 2 swords, which is over here actually. Now that could be interesting. So let's see who is going first. That's a Goblin Archer, and the next Goblin Archer is this fella here. Indeed. So we are moving it over here, going to the closest hero. This is a line of sight, so we are hitting poor Grom again. Yeah, that's 2 dice, and he's, okay, I keep forgetting, 2 dice for him as well, right? Yeah, it's 2 worth 2. So he could die even from this measly goblin, and he is. Oh boy, this is so ridiculous. I mean, the amount of bad luck in these rolls, it's really outrageous. So yeah, he's dead. I wanted to rest anyway, but yeah, I was hoping to rest on my own terms here. So let's not forget to give him one of those here. I think, yeah, these are actually here, so he has to drop those 2 exploration tokens. We can still pick them up, but I was really hoping to redistribute them, at least giving one of those to Maya, for example, because she's really doing good. She has 5 health, she has 3 attack defensive dice, and if you're not picking those things up again, we are not getting the money. Easy as that. But we are still not done yet. We have another activation, and that's an Orc Marauder, and I think the closest one is actually this one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, clear as that. But I think 1, 2, 3. At least he's not going to hit us just yet, because yeah, he's using melee weapons and is 1 space away. And again, right now I feel kind of comfortable for her. I'm really afraid that we're losing Scarlet again, so I may want to leave her behind or so. That's really something I have to think about actually, because otherwise if she dies again, then we have already lost the scenario. Now, right now I have 2 coins. I mean, this is ridiculous. And then I think I can stop the campaign at this point in time. And honestly, I think it's really a good thing. I really enjoy that it is somewhat challenging here, even though it's really heavily driven by poor dice rolls on my part. But I really very much enjoy the exercise so far. It's really a ton of fun, and despite my poor dice rolls, yeah, I really enjoy this. But okay then, let's rest. So that's our activation. So they are going back. I think Scarlet, she should have lost her wound as well. And I think for now I will leave Scarlet here. because if this, I mean, if he activates, I think I'm relatively certain I get to choose. So I think, yeah, the risk is relatively low. So I think we can leave her here as well. And that's the rest. I could still rearrange stuff. And of course, I should not forget to reactivate my weapons. That's the main thing of this rest exercise. But I think that's okay. We could consider giving the life drain maybe to Scarlet. On the other hand, nah, I think that's the better deal. No, let's leave everything as it is. Unfortunately, we have to activate the monsters again. So let's roll. These are the two bows. The two bows are here. No, that's terrible. Yeah, the dice gods are not necessarily on my side today. And that's an orc captain. Okay, the orc captain in this case could be either this or that. Doesn't really matter in this case. So let's go for the left one here. 1, 2, and 3. Moving towards the portal here. That was okay. And then the next one is another orc captain, which again, I think in this case has to be the same one. Oh, is that a problem? I think it's okay. So 1, 2, which is here, and 3. Again, this space is full, so he couldn't have ended his movement. So in this case, he would have needed to move, basically without the portal, at least I think. But, oh yeah, that's intriguing. That's truly intriguing now. But we could get rid of the orc captain now. That's a good one, actually. That's a really good one. So in theory, I could move Grom out again, and he's an orc. And what does he need? The orc captain, yeah, he needs also 3 damage. That's okay. The overkill is a little bit higher, and I guess, and he gets a reroll, but reroll only matters if he attacks us back. Could still be bad, but this would give us the weapon, and we would get 2 coins. So even if we would lose, we would have some more money, and 1 more coin for the scenario thing. So maybe that's tempting. Yeah, let's do that, right? I mean, that was the whole plan, or the whole idea for resting. So let's move him 1, 2 spaces out here. Definitely go for the orc beater. Unfortunately, quote unquote, he's no longer wounded, so we are not getting an extra die, but it's still not bad. So it's 4 plus 5, because again, we are hitting an orc. It's an orc captain, still counts as an orc. So 5 dice isn't bad. So let's really cross all our fingers in this case. We need at least 3 hits to take him out, right? It's 3. Yeah, it's 3. 5 would be amazing, but yeah, you really should stop playing these games if you can bear the results. I mean, 1 more sword in this instant. 1 more. I mean, I'm really not asking for much, right? So yeah, we are adding 2 wounds to the orc captain, who hits back, of course, with, again, 3 dice plus a reroll. And forget everything I said about enjoying this game. I hate it. I really hate it. So 3 versus 2, right? It's still the 2. Oh, gosh. Okay, at least we were somewhat successful here. So what, these were 2 hits. And they're 2 exploding or critical hits, so we have to continue to roll. So that's 1 hit. Okay, that could have been much worse. And now he is basically wounded, so he's rolling an extra die, which could come in handy actually. The problem is the orc captain is not dead, and that's the main issue right now. So in this case, again, we will activate Maya with her Nova Bolt. Of course, hitting the Orc Captain. And again, if we are really somewhat successful now, we could, let's see, let's roll first and then let's see. And yes, okay, that's cool. That's so cool. We are not able to hit someone else, but at least the Orc Captain is dead. Unfortunately, he still gets his payback, so he's moving 1 space further and is hitting her with 3 dice. And something I noticed, I forgot the reroll for the Orc Captain here when he was hitting poor Grom. So I think, yeah, I think we have to do that now. So let's simply roll a die here. And yeah, okay, unfortunately he has to take another hit. I'm pretty sure there was 1 die that he would have been allowed to reroll. I think so. So that's fair. But again, then this orc is also hitting poor Maya, and she could die now, and then the scenario is over. And no, that's good. Wow, 1 versus 1. Ah, he has 1 reroll. Again, I'm a little ahead of myself, but that's okay. We block this, of course. If he's now rolling a crit, then yeah, we are not in a great shape. And no, it's not a crit. Amazing. She is alive. He is out. So that's really, really extremely cool. So let's park him here. We are getting 2 coins for the kill in this case. We will place our little shark token here at the end of the scenario. So we killed 1 orc captain, and we also get the captain's blade, and we can immediately equip that. The problem is, yeah, we have to discard cards now. So we are removing, I guess, the rusty blade, because this still gives him a defense, right? So that's the idea, but at least he now has a far more powerful sword, which he can really use now against one of those hammer beastmen. Wow, that was really, really so cool. And again, I'm left with Scarlet here. And the question is, should I try to hit that fella? I really don't know. I mean, it could really go... If she takes 2 more wounds, again, she would be dead. And I think right now there is no reason to do that. So let's simply, maybe let's move her out 1 space and leave her here. So right now I think she might be well protected by Maya or Grom in this case. So yeah, let's not go too crazy and pretty much end our hero activation here. So let's roll our activation dice, our spawn points. So that's the sword and this one here. Not sure what I have. Want to think about this, but let's simply draw a card. That's a goblin archer, and in this case it has to be this goblin archer. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, and I think from here he can shoot Grom, and I think he will do that. So 1, 2, 3, he will shoot Grom. Again, rolling 2 dice, and again, every death could now kill us. So he's defending with 2 dice as well. Okay, that's 1. And we didn't defend again. Yeah, let's roll for the crit. And okay, that's 1 more wound for poor Grom, but we are not done yet. That's the main problem. That's really the main problem. So let's see who's getting activated next. And that's an Orc Marauder from here. I think this has to be this one, and this is bad. 1 and 2. Of course, hitting poor Grom again, right? They go for the most wounded ones, and he is down to basically, he can suck up 1 more damage and then he's dead. So again, they're rolling 3 dice. He's defending only with 2, and I really don't like my chances here. Oh, this was so terrible, this whole scenario. And this was really immediate. I felt okay actually. So with this recent success, I really felt okay, but now that he's getting basically hit twice, let me count this as a hit, but I think he's dead. Yep, he's dead. So these are 2 wounds. That's all we needed, actually. So we will roll those 2 again. That's 6, and we keep going, actually. Shall we drag it on? Yeah, why not? Let's continue going. And yeah, okay. So that's really crazy. So basically 6 more wounds for Grom, which means he is dead. This is our 3rd defeat. He's getting a 2nd death curse token, which means we have to draw 2 cards for him and choose the worst. So it's very unlikely that he's getting away again, actually. But yeah, that's pretty much game over. So we have 4 coins here, and we didn't even pick up those. Again, I was going to redistribute those. So if 2 would be now with Maya, I think I would be okay. We are getting 1 more coin because we have at least made 1 or completed 1 scenario objective here. So this brings us to 5 in total, which isn't great. And I think up next we are drawing, as far as I remember, 8 cards now, or was it 6? I think it was 6 actually. I just noticed something. I would have 1 more defensive die. So let's simply roll that. And I would have 1 re-roll. Let's re-roll that. So that's basically 2 hits. We had 6. Keep that in mind. No, it's still not good enough. So he's very much dead and gone. So now let's go for the 6. I immediately I checked that in the meantime, and this time we are going for the level 3 cards. And here we are. And wow, yeah, we have the Nova Bolt here with 4. That's really intriguing. I mean, look at this. It's rolling 4 attack dice, and we need some more attack. There's nothing. Yeah, we could go for the Brimstone as well, actually. Question is, maybe before we buy stuff, I think let's do the Death Curses first. I think that's actually the actual order of things, because then you know what you can equip and whatnot. So the good thing is Maya will definitely lose her Death Curse in this case, because she wasn't defeated, and she basically therefore she doesn't have one of those curses. For Scarlet, we are also discarding this, but she has to draw 1 more. So let's give this a very quick shuffle, and let's see what she gets. And here we have again the Nosebleed is back. I really shuffled so well. And for Pogrom, he has to draw 2 cards now, so let's simply continue to shuffle. And again, we have to go for the higher number in the end. So here is 1. So unfortunately, we have to dodge this. So he goes to a system shock, which is not great for him actually, because he is losing one of his things here too, right? I think it's still not the end of the world. We can give the Skullcracker, for example, to Maya. For example, she can hold 1 more item, though that's allowed. So, but this has to go in here. But what are we going to do with our dollar? So I think in this case it's very clear we are going for the Nova Bolt 2, and we might want to get rid of this one here. So we're giving the Life Drain 2 to Scarlet. Life Drain 1 gets discarded. Again, there is no, as far as I understood and as far as I know, maybe there is something in errata or an FAQ where you can still keep stuff, but the rules as written say you basically have to discard those, right? I mean, she could still carry 1, but we may want to simply buy something like the Brimstone here and give it to someone. We could still give it to Scarlet, for example. If this deals any wound your target and 1 additional enemy close to it are dazed. Yeah, that's, again, dazed is only helping you when you are defeating, I don't know, either those minor villains or major villains, for example, when they're actually rolling defensive dice, or when you're playing a multiplayer game where they're also, of course, defending. It's still 4 dice, though. So it's still not nothing. And before we are not using it, I think I will spend the extra coin in this case, and we'll simply give this Brimstone. Maybe let's give it to her for now. Why not? I mean, just to carry stuff around and pretty much call it good here. But yeah, that's pretty much the 3rd scenario of my campaign of Arcadia Quest using the official solo rules. So far, things are not looking great. And in the normal multiplayer game, those scenarios, they all come with titles which allow you to do stuff in other linked scenarios. For example, these titles do not count here. You're basically using all those 5 missions before to prep you for the end game, basically giving you enough money and weapons so that you can stand a chance. Right now, I don't think we are standing a chance, even though we got some good. So really, the one comfort is we got the Captain's Plate here. We got now the Nova Bolt 2. We have the Life Drain 2. So we have some good weapons now. That's not too bad, but I'm still not feeling it. And really, these things that really clog up your inventory slots, those are really bad. Those are really, really bad. So again, I leave it up to you if you want me to continue or not. So leave a comment, and yeah, I will see how motivated I am dragging my way through another series of poor dice rolls here. And yeah, huge shout out to all of my patrons and channel members out there. Really do appreciate all your support. So if you want to support my little channel here, you will find a link to my page on Patreon. You can join me here on YouTube, the community. You can leave a thanks, this little thanks button down there for a small donation. Definitely like and subscribe or leave a comment. This also greatly helps, of course. And yeah, with that being said, hope to see you soon in one of my other videos. And until then, bye bye.